It really couldn't have been a better start to the season for the Canucks, that win in Edmonton, but since the 3 games couldn't have gone much worse. Satiar, the fans in the city have their hands hovering over the panic button, and for good reason. But let's start with what you think has been the most concerning aspect of the past 3 games for the Canucks.
Discipline, and a lack of discipline. That has been the issue for the Vancouver Canucks so far, and obviously that ties into how bad their penalty kill is, which we'll get into. But this Canucks team has shown a real lack of discipline since the start of the season. And we go back to that play Quinn Hughes made, second game. And I'm not putting this on Quinn Hughes, but you saw him on the power play. Besser gets hit, goes after Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They go off the power play. They get scored on, becomes a 2-goal lead. And since that moment, it seems like the Canucks have been digging themselves into big holes. And the players who are supposed to be leaders and the veterans are the ones who've been the biggest culprits so far with the lack of discipline for this team.
Yeah, more than 5 penalties per game so far, and not getting bailed out by the PK and some veterans on the PK.
Well, that's the big thing. We talk about guys like Jay Beagle. We talk about Travis Hamonic, who came in to be a good defenseman on the PK, and they've really struggled. It's been the worst PK in the league so far this season, and you really hope that these veterans are the ones that should right the ship. They get paid a lot of money. They've been there before. Now, sometimes it is cyclical, and when things start snowballing on the PK, it's really hard to get out of it. And now you can just tell, as soon as the Canucks get out on the PK, they seem terrified to make a mistake, which leads to more mistakes, leads to taking more penalties. And it's really disappointing to see so far that the veterans on the PK have had a hard time keeping things together.
A lot of people pointing the finger at Elias Pettersson right now, and it's easy to see why. 1 point in 4 games. He's got more penalties than points at this moment, and it's easy to say it's just 4 games. But you have to realize, in 2 games, they'll have played more than 10% of their season. So what have you seen from Pettersson, and what would you like to see from him?
I'd like to see him just get his confidence back. What really stood out to me, Murph, for the first time last night after the game, he said, I'm struggling with confidence. I'm feeling frustrated. We've seen him show frustration at times before, but this is now game 4 of the season, and he's already talking about being frustrated. Now, part of that is putting a lot of pressure on himself. He has now emerged as a superstar in this National Hockey League. Expectations are higher. And as far as criticism goes, that's kind of your lot in life as a superstar. You get the credit, you get the criticism, but his game is so good and so refined, it's only a matter of time he gets out of it. But his game as well, it's a lack of discipline. We talk about Pettersson drawing penalties, and he has so far this season. But last night, 2 bad penalties again. He gets frustrated, takes himself out of the equation, and that's something that Pettersson can't do. But as we know, Murph, his talent level is so high, he's so dedicated, it's only a matter of time before he turns it around.
An easy way to get some confidence back would be get some points on the power play. 0 for 15 so far this season. Looked quite good in the first attempt against Calgary in game number 4. Do you think it's just a matter of time before these talented players figure it out?
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're not going to go 0-4 all season. Now, the power play may not click at as higher rate as it did last year, being one of the top power plays in the league. It can be up and down year to year with the power play, but they are too talented, too good, and they've had enough chances to score. They just have not scored yet. I am not that worried about the power play. The personnel is great. The scheme makes a lot of sense. They had some chances, just have not been able to bury it. Even the second unit power play, Jake Virtanen made a great pass to Adam, got it. He just couldn't slide it into the goal. The power play goals are coming. It's only a matter of time.
Give the fans some reason to feel positive about this team. What can they build on?
Well, they haven't been bad at even strength so far this season. You look back at the first period last night, maybe the best period they've played so far this season. We saw the first game of the year. They dictated play against the Edmonton Oilers. They were fast. They were skating. The team game is there. They've shown signs of life in the overall team game, the system play. They can be a lot better at even strength, and they've shown it. So I think the even strength play, as much as they're 1-3 on the season, special teams have been bad, this even strength play has been actually pretty good so far. That's something to build on, and usually we judge teams on how they play at evens. I think that is something you can kind of lean on for the time being until the special teams get figured out.
Next up for the Canucks, a 3-game set against a team a lot of people are high on this season, the Montreal Canadiens.